Hi everyone. Today we'll be installing a Cline extension in Visual Studio Code to edit some code on the server and use a private server with V100 GPUs to basically make a private code experience on your private network. You could see the IP here, it's all private. We're using Open AI API with vLLM. There is another video of how to set that up. Um, so we're going to give a little instruction to Cline here to create a website. It's just something simple. Basically, you could use Cline. It's a free extension, Visual Studio Code. I'm just going to find the browser for files. See, this is on a remote server, so we could watch Cline create and edit files live. So we're asking it to create an HTML file. I'll just remove this that's blinking. So this website is going to show various machine learning models for video and photo editing. And you could see right now, on the right side of the screen, the GPUs are activated. You could see the memory and CPU usage is almost 100%. The model is working. And you see Cline is making a plan, and it's starting to work on that plan. It created a new file, index.html, and it's starting to write the code directly on the server. Of course, you're not limited to HTML. You can write Python scripts or do anything you want, and you could set the permissions so it's not allowed to edit or modify specific files, so you would be safe. And you could see there is a token requests happening. It's doing about 26 tokens per second. This is running on a relatively basic server using V100 GPUs. The advantage of these GPUs is they're connected by NVLink, so the bandwidth between them is really fast, which is something you wouldn't really get on PCI. Even on PCI 5, I don't think you could go up to 300 gigabytes per second. So we're using, when we launch this model, we're actually using, I believe, tensor parallelism. So it basically combines the video memory of all the GPUs and spreads the model across them. So you're able to run larger models with larger context. Since these are 32 GB, I think you're running full context for this Qwen coder, which is, I think, 250,000 tokens plus. So you see the GPU memory usage lowered because Cline, updated a little plan and it started to work on a new file. Now it's making a CSS file. And the usage is back up again. So what's neat about Cline is it just kind of runs through it. By the way, you could see the usage of the tokens. It's about 14.2K out of 128K. Okay, I guess it launched with less context, so it's 128,000 in context. But you could launch it with more. You could specify it, and it really depends on the model, what kind of context size it has. So I just wanted to show you here like how it's editing the file, the style CSS. It's just going through it. It's adding, lots and lots of code, just writing away. And you see the index.html is done. Now style CSS is going to be done, and I think maybe there's going to be JavaScript as well. And then what we're going to do after is we're going to try to modify this code just to show you how quickly it does that. It's writing like hundreds of lines of code by itself in a very little direction, of course. Yeah, so I'm starting to write, please move the files you prepared to. I'm gonna move the files to another folder. There's a bunch of mess in this. This is just a test server that we set up specifically to see how these models perform, and it's performing quite well. Um, and the advantage is you could work on your private servers without giving an external LLM access to it. So it's kind of nice for the team. You wouldn't really want ChatGPT or something else connecting to your internal servers and grabbing your data. God knows what happens to it. So this is much nicer. So this is the new instruction. Once this is done, I'm going to ask them to move the files to a different folder called website and change the name of the project and header to Can Servers AI. See, I didn't put that right away because I wanted to have something to change after, and I know it's going to give it some generic name because I didn't give a lot of instructions. So CSS, style CSS is done. And now it's going to add some basic JavaScript. Yeah, so it's creating 3 files in total. The prompt was very, very small and not very detailed. I just wanted to, to generally go through lots of tokens and see what's going on. You could see we're up to 20,000 tokens for context use now. It's keeping it all in memory, the whole website. That's why when it modifies it, it's going to be very, very fast and precise. So you could just see it working away, writing more and more lines of code. Of course, it could also work on your own files that are already existing and it could modify it, but I wanted to show you a complete demo of first creating and then modifying. So, okay. So now that I think this is kind of done, we're gonna try to preview this file. I think I have some ports open, so that didn't work through right away. And here we go, open in browser. So look at, called it AI Media. And this is a nice little website with some generic text, some demo, even did drop down for yeah, so nice quick little website, simple template, some functional stuff, scrolls around, so just how fast it could do it. Okay, so now, and it's responsive, that's kind of neat as well. Okay, so now let's try to modify it. And we're going to press OK here. And that's it. So now it's going to move the files over. Look at that. It's showing you what it did in the terminal. So it created a folder website and moved all the files over there. So sometimes it asks to auto approve stuff, and these are the options that you could do, what you could allow it to do. So I'm going to cancel it because I think I didn't set the permissions properly. And now I'm going to resume the task. But it did move everything over. And we need to resume so we could change the rename it to Can Servers AI. It's just double checking all the work because it already exists. It runs Linux commands by itself. And the way, if you want to keep your stuff safe, you could always, obviously don't work on production servers, work on dev environments with this and back them up. So in case it does run away, it's still, sort of experimental technology. So that's it. So now it's starting to change Can servers from AI model to Can servers AI everywhere. And it's pretty clever because it'll change it in a few places. And I didn't explicitly tell it to do that. I just told it to, to change the project name. And it's just finding various places where to change it. So that's pretty cool. And it's going to automatically save it and then show us a preview after as well. I think it's going to change it in the footer. Yeah, it changed it in the footer. And the header, and even in the copyright. So now it's going to change it in the copyright. That's pretty cool. Yep, I think it changed it in 3 places, all by itself. So that's pretty cool. I might have forgotten one in the footer or something like that, but it didn't. Let's see, it's just still working on it. Yeah, and this is running in a VM and Proxmox. Oh wow, it even changed the email. Okay, there we go. That's really cool. So yeah, this is running on a Proxmox VM with GPU pass-through. We have another video that shows you how to do that. We like this because it makes it more modular for the models in case you mess something up or you want to clone it or you want to make it high available. And let's preview. Look at that, Can Servers AI. Website looks good. It didn't break anything. And yeah, that's pretty much the working demo of Cline in Visual Studio Code with a private LLM just working away on your files privately.